G'day, Philly Joe. Sorry to keep you waiting. G'day, SoFlo. G'day, D's Nuts. G'day, Moneymaker. G'day, Sarah. G'day, Gina Jen. G'day, replay viewers. And maybe this will be the last replay on YouTube. Oh, this will be upside down. Let me, sorry. Let me turn the camera around and then it'll be found the right way. Where was I up to? G'day, Moneymaker, maybe. G'day, Sarah. G'day, Gina Jen. G'day, David. G'day, Rabba. G'day, Billiam. G'day, Marty. G'day, Hockey Rules. G'day, Little Darling. G'day, Alan Dino. No black screen. Yep, some people got trouble, but I think it's good overall. G'day, Greenie. G'day, Michael Aud. $5.20 is out. Yes, 0.520. I just pressed release before I did it. Okay, Marty loves the repo option. Okay, so I think it's in a reasonable state now. Still a bit annoying, but the orientation not working. The comments are a bit out, but I can fine tune that. So there you go. So yes, Sarah, I did see your message on Twitter. I think can I respond to it here, or do you want me to respond privately? Yeah, so Sarah asked, if I remember correctly, I saw it yesterday when I was out, and I presume, Sarah, it's on iOS 15 beta, so the bar at the top and the bottom of the screen in the broadcast lists have gone grey. And she doesn't like it, and I don't like it either. I did try and make it at least consistent because it was jumping around between the old and new colours, and it's something they've changed, that Apple has changed, and I didn't investigate too strongly. I tried to do a quick fix, but yes, I agree. It wasn't deliberate. I will probably change it back to what it was. I mean, I need to investigate why Apple changed it, but because I like to be consistent with what the current iOS standards and schemes are. So if there's, well, I mean, it's sort of a bug because it's not displaying consistently. I think it goes to, if you go to the profile page, it displays it light grey back to the old colour. So it's sort of a bug. I guess it's a bug. It's an incompatibility with iOS 15. So yeah. So if those of you don't know what I'm talking about, it's when iOS is released. I think on Monday for everyone. It'll be it will become apparent if I don't fix it before then or update it before then. Which I guess is tomorrow. So I probably won't. Can you be a mod and ban people? You can block people. Who do you want to ban? No, don't tell me. Are there people who need to be banned? Who haven't been already? G'day Dang, g'day Sarah again, g'day Linda Mask Up. So everyone's a mod on Heckle, yes, that's right. So there's been quite a bit of activity. So there was a test flight version out yesterday sometime. Simon, are you going to let at least one person join the broadcasting? You mean call-ins? Yes, at some point I will. So there is now just now I pressed release on 0.520. So that has that's been on test flight for half a day or something, and no major concerns, it seems. So that adds two things. So now anyone after broadcasting or even during broadcasting can click the little I button down here, and you will get, in fact, let me press it so I can see. There's broadcast settings, and there's only one at the moment, publish replay. So that you can turn that on, and that means the replay will be available after the broadcast. I may even make that pop up at the start while without a choice. At the start when you're entering the subject, I may in fact put the subject when you enter the broadcast subject or broadcast title. I may put that in there, and there may be other settings like sharing location and so on will be in there. So, and then whatever you're doing there gets remembered as your current, as your default, basically as your preference for next time. So it will be sticky, just like the camera that you use is remembered. So it starts off with the camera that you last used. So of course then you can change it again. At the moment, if you've got past broadcasts that are still visible on the past broadcast list, you can go into them and watch the replay yourself. And while you're watching the replay, you can click on the I button and change to make that broadcast available. And again, that will change your default preference for future broadcasts. It won't change all your broadcasts, all your past broadcasts. It will only change that one, but it will become the default setting, your preference for future broadcasts. I did just have a discussion with Michael out offline, so maybe my comments have stopped. Maybe you're all just listening. Anyone still there? Can I have some hearts, please, to be sure we're all good? No, we're not all good. Oh, yes, thank you. Black heart. So you were all intent in listening intently. Well done. I didn't even get any random lag test requests or suggestions or preemptive answers. So did that explain enough about the replays? The other thing I've done for viewing replays is that, well, a few things. I think you don't, maybe it's new in this release, you don't get ads when you're watching your own broadcasts. When you're replaying, you can scrub around in the broadcast. It seemed to work. It didn't take that long, obviously, to get going. You can pause. There's a few weird things, like when you get to the end, you can't. There's no way to go back and start it again. It sort of gets a bit stuck. Go can do. A few funny things. Someone said, Martin Andrews said that if you, while watching a replay, and if you're watching this replay, please test this now. If you press the button up here to hide all the comments, like the scenery mode that you can do now live as well. In fact, do it live as well if you're here. So if you're watching live, do it now. If you're watching replay, do it now. Live for you. So press the scenery mode button and make sure it comes back. Yeah, one person, Martin Andrews, said that it didn't work for him, although, yeah, I'm pretty sure it works for me. And thanks, Marty, for confirming on Slack and on here that it works for you. So I presume it works for everyone. Although I've got no more comments. So please press 1 if you can get the comments back after you go to scenery mode. And if you can't get them back, you may not be able to comment, but if you say press 0. Okay, no, 0 is good. It must be working fine then. Someone asked how soon are you from having hearts? Well, I haven't really started. I haven't done that much thinking about it or working on it. Yes, I will probably, as Ken DeVue suggests, I will probably do a map before hearts. I think is probably more interesting. Bubbles, as in Sarah suggests, bubbles would be better. I don't need to read the comments now because you can all see them. Do you mean bubbles for who's here or bubbles as hearts? Like as the flying emoji? I love you, Sandra. But before I do any of that, I need to work on the subscription so you can make your broadcasts available for longer. So that will involve a few things. I mean, there's the mechanics of the subscription, but there's also there'll need to be a way that you can view all past broadcasts from a broadcaster. Don't worry, Sarah, it won't be hearts. So I have to. There'll have to be a way to go and view all past broadcasts from a broadcaster, and then a way for the broadcaster to manage to delete them and so on to keep within their quota. So I probably need to do that next, because at the moment I'm just storing all these and haven't deleted any, and I'm trying to, because there have obviously been some good broadcasts. Hello, Desi. There have obviously been some good broadcasts before, since I started doing recordings, and I don't necessarily want to delete them. And if people want to pay and keep them in the long term, so I'll try and keep them for as long as I can. And hopefully it'll only be a few days until I get the subscription thing. It's sort of quite complicated because you've got to handle all the. It's much easier to do a one-off purchase, but g'day, Sassy Nay. Hope everything's as okay as it can be. One-off purchases are easy, but subscriptions are hard because you've got to handle them expiring and renewing and cancelled and refunds and all these things that all the special cases. We're going to have bubbles. Yes. Okay. So after replays. Well, okay. So the other, before I get onto that, thinking of you, Janae. Okay. The other thing about replays there are two things that I need to fix about replays. It feels like there's more in the warnings list that you get when you do a replay, but I need to do the automatic orientation. I was actually wondering, it would be pretty easy for me to put in a button to just to change the orientation. No worries, Sassy, no, of course. But I don't really want to do temporary things that I need later on, or that I don't really need later on. And extra buttons. What's my name? My orientation is landscape left at the moment. This broadcast started on landscape right, but now it's on landscape left. And I know that's not what you meant, but that's what I'm answering. Okay, so replays, I need to fix the orientation. I need to fix the, there is three things, of course. I need to fix the starting off black problem, and I need to fix the synchronization with the comments, which is not too bad. It might be a second or so out, I think. I mean, I could just shift it by a second, but I don't really want to do that, because as the servers get busier, the synchronization might change. So I want to do it more robustly. But I find it's not actually too annoying watching replays. The comments are a bit out. So any feedback on when you want a manual button to rotate the screen? So you might have to press it 2 or 3 times to get the orientation you want. Okay. Janae's kind of confused on the I button. I suggest you watch the replay, but the yes, okay, that's the other thing I want to talk about. So there are 2 I buttons. So when you're broadcasting, this I button in here that says coming soon for viewers, but for broadcasters it now works, and it allows you to set whether this broadcast will be available for others to replay, for public replay. The I button that allows you to download will still be there. Well, is still there, but I'm thinking of, 1, moving it inside this broadcast details screen, and 2, limiting it so only the broadcaster can download their broadcast. I think that's reasonable, right? Once there's replays in app, there's no reason for anyone else to download the raw video. It should be it's up to the broadcaster. Right? If they want to download it and make it available elsewhere, that's up to them. So unless there are any strong objections to that, I will probably do that in the next release. So that's all the replays things. Now, the replays are not just audio, but they often start off with just audio, and it takes a while. Basically, when there's activity in the room, the video kicks in. And I know how to fix it. I just need to. It's related to the synchronization with the comments as well. If I have replay set to public, then change your mind, turn it off. It's still in bold. No, you should be able to turn it off and it should no longer be available. Oh, okay. It's still in bold for you. Yes, because that means you can watch it. I don't know. I know that's a bit confusing because you can always watch your own replays. But other people cannot unless you have the setting changed. So I didn't know. Yeah, you definitely. I'm pretty sure you can turn it on and off later. I don't really know how to give better feedback to the user because I thought it might be a bit confusing that it still shows bold in the list. Oh, and I realised if you don't set a title to your broadcast, it doesn't show bold either because it was only. So I'll update that as well. I need to watch this replay to remind me of the things I've said I'm going to change. So that I think pretty much finishes what I want to say about replays. So then next, so now we have a broadcast details screen, broadcast details / broadcast settings screen. So now I can start adding things in there like location and map, which again will be an opt-in thing, just like the replays. I can start adding in things like choosing the resolution. I can add things like choosing whether you want monochrome comments, whether you want leaving messages, funny leaving messages or boring leaving messages or no leaving messages, or things like that. Whether you want comments to fade fast or slow or not at all that sort of stuff. Quite a few things I've been thinking about, and I keep saying, there's lots of things I can add into the broadcast details. So I'll probably add those just when I think about it. They'll be pretty easy to add now that I've got the structure in place. So that will be fun. How many hecklers do we have? Oh, I really haven't checked. Okay, I'll check. Wrong server. Oh, what's going on? That's what's going on. Be on the server. Okay, that looks better. Gosh, it's 9 days since I last checked. It was 1,800 and something. And now, drum roll, it is on the 19th of September 2021 at 4:51 GMT. It is 8,000, sorry, not 8,000, 1,861. So it hasn't been increasing hugely. So get the word out now that there's replays. Get marketing. So after replays, what else am I thinking about doing? So there's a whole lot of settings and broadcast settings and information. There's 3 major sets of features. There's maps, there's bubbles to show who of your friends are in the broadcast, and there's hearts of some form of non-comment feedback to the broadcaster. Hello, Almeida. Welcome. So that's the major features that I want to do, and then there's call-ins, and then there's Android, and then there's all sorts of other little things that we'll think about along the way. So we're getting there. See, Almeida, are you new? No, I'm not. I shouldn't ask you now. You've gone. Okay. Any questions before we do a lag test? How does the number of hecklers impact server use and costs? Not greatly. I mean, the major cost is the storage. So, I mean, I can add more servers to do the processing, but it's not that much an issue. Thank you, Janae. Take care. How to share a replay? Okay, so to share a replay, either live in the broadcast or when you're watching the replay yourself, you go and click on the information button, which is broadcast details, broadcast settings screen, and there'll be a thing in there you can turn on. And you might have just missed that. So you can watch the replay, but click on while you're broadcasting or while you're watching the replay, click on the information button, and then there'll be a setting in there to make a replay available. And that will then become your default. That will stay like that until you do it next time. And you can also do it while you're preparing the broadcast, while you're entering the subject, the title of a broadcast. You can also go and click on there and set your other settings as well. So, when is the most busy? US daytime. Definitely not UK daytime. US evening is probably the busiest. US afternoon, I guess. Now, the next question for me to you is, do I need to keep putting these on YouTube? Probably not every day, I think. This may be the last on YouTube. I will. I may do another broadcast specifically with that question. I'll put that on YouTube and people can comment. So cracking the sidewalk for the 4th time. So before you start broadcasting, during the broadcast, or while you're watching the replay, go and click on the information button. You'll get a new broadcast details screen. The only thing in at the moment is a setting to make your replay available to the public. You can turn that on. Once you turn it on once, that will stay your default for future broadcasts, but you can change it as often as you like. And yes, sorry, it's confusing between this information button in here and the information button in the list of broadcasts. Okay, any questions before we have a lag test? Any comments? Any feedback? Okay, let's do a lag test. That's the best way to determine if people are here, is to do a lag test. And even if I say do a lag test, I usually get a number. So get your numbers up, get ready, and type in number 4. Dan, you knew I was going to say number 4. Well done. Oh, you're so smart. The little darling was actually first. Then chillaxing. Red dress 4. Don't know that. Sarah, Marty, David, Philly Joe, Dan, cracking the sidewalk. No idea. Typo. Red dress number 4. I wonder what you were planning to type. The information button is not for viewers then. Well, it's not yet, but it will be coming soon for viewers. So there will be things in there for viewers like the subject of the title of the broadcast, the some settings like whether you want coloured comments or not, whether you want fading or not. All those sort of things that I talk about will make it configurable later can go in there, and some of those are viewer related things. The map will go on there. Well, the map of where the broadcaster is broadcasting from will go on there. Yeah, in fact, there's two maps. I talk about the map, but there's really two maps. There's the map of where the broadcaster is broadcasting from, which I try and say every time. Yes, you can watch replays now. This will be available on replay. Let me just check that my setting is still on. This will be available on replay within a few seconds after the broadcast. Yeah, website viewing for those without iOS. I don't know. Don't know. Oh, the other thing about the replays that it doesn't do, so it displays and you can give me feedback on what you think it should do, is so when you watch a broadcast from the start, from left to right, or left to right, I guess for you, the comments appear gradually, and they're slightly unsynchronized, but they're roughly okay, right? They appear in real time. If you jump forward, like if you go to a later point in the broadcast, sorry, this way for you, then the comments will catch up. However, if you go backwards, the comments don't disappear. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Basically, they just stay there until you catch up to the latest point where you've already had comments shown. I had expected that they should disappear. So then you're back to really where you were, and they'll start appearing in time. It's actually not that hard to fix, but then I thought, well, maybe it's good to keep them there. Well, I think it's okay, but I think it's probably better to... the test flight and the App Store version are identical now at this very moment. It's interesting. So I guess that means you could scrub to the end and get all the comments and then go back and watch from the start, and then you would have, like, I think apps still do it this way, that you just see all the comments, which everyone complains about, but now that I've taken it away, you like it. So there are pros and cons to everything. So, there you go. Well, for my rules, of course, I'll decide ultimately, but still, I like to hear the views. There have been cases when I've changed my mind based on feedback. I think for the better. Oh, the other thing that so I've actually got some little broadcast stats showing on here. I'll make that an option, and that's an option for the viewers as well as the broadcasters. So that little information button, you'll be wishing it just says coming soon, because next time you open it, it may have 50 things in there. Someone today said you were blocking people with music in the background. I haven't. Actually, I've been a bit slack recently on dealing with people like that. But yes, I should be banning people playing music in the background. It's not allowed on the terms of service. Thank you for asking. I really am so tempted to change the terms of service to allow that, but I don't know that I should be morally... I mean, what's... Because morally, it just seems so fine. But should I be choosing which laws to break or not based on moral judgments. I mean, we do that in our life all the time, but right, that's interesting, Marty. I don't think that should be an official policy of my app that you can break the law in some cases because it seems morally okay. It's still a copyright infringement just because you're doing something else as well. And now that I've said that, I guess I've entrenched my position there before, haven't I? I know it's boring when there are no other sounds. Write to your Member of Parliament. Go and demonstrate about that. That the copyright holders are. Well, no, I agree morally, Marty. And I'm so tempted to say, look, if it's in the background and it's not the main purpose of your broadcast, and there's some other sound over the top, like so, it's if it's in a form that people could rip and make use of, then it would not be allowed. But if you're talking over the top of it, then it should be fine because it's not depriving anyone of revenue, because people aren't going to. If I had music playing in the background here, no one's going to say, "Oh, I like that song. Let's save that bit of Simon's broadcast so I can listen to the song." No, they're going to get annoyed by me saying the same thing over the top of their music all the time, right? It's only going to increase music sales. So morally, it feels fine to do that. But I mean, it's not for me to say, well, we'll ignore that bit of the law just because morally it seems all right. Because the recording industry aren't acting in that way. If there are times when laws get ignored, right? When everyone just ignores a law because it doesn't make sense anymore. Exactly, Marty. It's only positive. If I was a performer, I would want this to be allowed. So don't complain to me, complain to the recording industry who are not allowing people to do it on Twitch. So if they're not allowing to do it on Twitch, at some point, when we've got more than 1,860 whatever viewers, well, I make money on here. I guess they can argue that I would make more money because people are coming to listen to their cool music. If currently I've got 15 viewers, they could say, well, look, now that you started playing background music, you now get an average of 20 viewers, and you used to get 15. So therefore, the extra advertising revenue you get from that is ours. I guess that would be their moral argument. Well, I know, but tell them that. Tell them that. Simon Flash. I could just spoof it a little bit and do Simon Flick Up. Simon Flash Up. I'm a small fish, but what about when I'm a big fish? They don't care about me when I'm a small fish, and they presumably don't care about Haps because they're also a relatively small fish, although a lot bigger than me. Yeah, Twitch people can make money through a subscription, but presumably even when they don't, they still get told they're not allowed to do it, right? Thank you, Grant. Hello, Grant. Yeah, maybe I personally shouldn't do it. Anyway, because it... But you're not allowed to on YouTube, right? If you do a YouTube live, you can't have background music. I'm told. So why would YouTube not allow it? What a pity, Grant. Well, we were just talking about when replays, or when some features may be available web only to Android users, and I don't know is the answer. Anyway, just know I'm thinking about it, and I'm having angst about it, and I would love to allow it. So don't blame me. Blame the greedy recording industry. Cool. There's a service called Chill Hop that can be in background for Twitch and YouTube. I'm sure there are others. Yeah, I think I've looked into that, and I think it's because they've got particular deals with YouTube and Twitch. I don't think it's, or is it royalty free music? Is it? Because there are some that say that they're free for streaming, but I think it's only free for streaming on particular services that have agreements with them. So you've got to be careful. But I'm relatively, if people have gone to the trouble to try and find a legal source of music that they can play, I'm not going and investigating whether they're legally correct or not. I'm trusting people and relying on the fact that we're trying will mean I don't have to lose all of my house. Maybe I can keep a few rooms at least. When they come after me. Okay, on that lovely note, I'll say hooroo and catch you on the replay. Here, keep the bathroom. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the replays. Keep getting the word out. Get more viewers on here and more broadcasters. Bye.